Coming up on this episode of LSMN Overtime, we'll be looking at district soccer, Flower Mound Water Polo, and the Colony softball coach who's about to reach a big milestone.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of LSMN Overtime. I'm Tori Stevens. The soccer season is winding down with LASD in the mix for some top spots. Let's see the highlights from Tuesday night matches. Starting over in Flower Mound, where the Jaguars were hosting Plano, the match started off with the Jags' aggressive play, trying to score fast, but the kick was intercepted by the Wildcats goalkeeper. Plano had a chance at the other end with a long shot attempt that ended up being blocked in a turnover for the Wildcats. The Jags had a great chance to score off the free kick, but two block shots by the Wildcats kept them out of the net. Good defense by both teams kept the match close. Late into the second half, in the 65th minute of the game, the Wildcats committed a foul inside the penalty box, which led to a penalty kick for Diego Morales, who scored to put the Jags up 1-0. The Jags kept the lead, knocking off Plano and maintaining first place in district. On Tuesday night, Marcus girls team hosted the Lady Farmers. Within 10 minutes of the first half, Marcus Grace Martin scored a point with an assist by Maddie Reynolds. In the 14th minute, Nina Mazzola scored her first of 4 goals on the night. Minutes later, Mazzola scored, putting Marcus up 3-0 20 minutes into the game. The beatdown continued in the second half with goals by Maddie Reynolds, Piper Hemperly, and Lindy Maxson. Marcus went on to defeat Lewisville 8-0. For other girls' scores around the district, Hebron played against Plano West Tuesday night, ending the game with a 2-2 tie against the Wolves. Flower Mound took on Plano, beating the Wildcats 5-2. Moving on to the standings, LSD schools are still dominating with 3 schools in the top 4 spots. Marcus is sitting at 2, with only a game separating them from number 3, Hebron. Not far behind is Flower Mound with 4th. With only a few games left in the season, it'll be interesting to see how the standings change. Moving on to the men's side of things, number 1 Flower Mound took down number 2 Plano, winning 1-0. Number 4 Lewisville took on Marcus, beating the Marauders 2-1. And Hebron battled Plano West, ending their game with a 1-1 tie. Over to the guys' side, only 2 LASD schools are in playoff positions. Flower Mound is sitting in first place, with Lewisville 3 games behind at number 4. Turning to softball action, Monday night the Colony Lady Cougars took on Lovejoy and pulled out a 5-3 win. Marcus took on Flower Mound. In part 1 of Battle the Mount, the Lady Marauders took down the Lady Jags 4-3. Plano West took on LHS. The Lady Farmers never trailed, easily winning 13-2. Plano East clashed with Hebron. The Lady Hawks were able to pick up a 6-1 win. Continuing on with baseball, 2 LASD baseball teams had great results in tournaments over the weekend. Marcus competed in the Tide Warrior Classic tournament with 3 shutouts and only allowed 3 runs all weekend. Marcus went 5-0, outscoring their opponents 42-3, and are currently ranked 4th in Texas. Flower Mound isn't far behind. They competed in the DFW Clash. The Jags went 5-1, only losing to Keller. A junior softball player from Lewisville is having a solid year. Alex Salazar has more with this week's LSMN Spotlight.
This week's Spotlight goes out to Riley Bryce, a junior for the Fighting Farmers softball team. This season, Bryce has a batting average of .500. She has scored 19 runs along with 18 total hits, and her on-base percentage is .600. Check out Bryce and the second-place Lady Farmers Friday night as they travel to Plano East to take on the Lady Panthers. Back to you at the desk, Tori.
We've had a run of LASD coaches hitting big milestones in LASD this year. The Colony is the latest school marking a milestone. GJ Crichton sits down with the Colony softball coach in this week's Coach's Corner.
I'm here with Dina Coleman, the head coach of the Colony's Lady Cougar softball team. Good afternoon, Coach, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You've racked up 500 wins in your career. What still excites you about the game?
Oh, I was so excited about the team last night. I felt like they really put a lot of pieces together that we've been working on. We played a lot of tournament games, just got finished with tournament season. And it should start to come together when you start district, and it did. And I was so excited for the kids to see how when you work on individual things and put them together, how they finally come together.
Well, sounds like you're really putting it together. Your team has received many awards, including state championship. What has been your approach to coaching your players?
I think my approach is number one, fundamentals across the board. Fundamental is there's no magic wand. You don't tap someone with a magic wand and all of a sudden they're talented. One of the things that the kids hear the most from me is if you go to a job and you work 14 hours that week and you get your check for 14 hours worked, don't call and argue with your boss that why didn't you get paid for 40 hours worked? And they say, yeah, because you only work 14. I said, right, same concept. Why you get mad at yourself in the batter's box when you didn't put the work in? So are you arguing with yourself that you didn't get paid for work you didn't put in? So that kind of philosophy is you have to put the work in to get the result. And everybody knows that coming in. I want to make it as fun as possible. I want to make it as simple as possible and just put the work in.
It's a great mentality to have. You've faced some challenges in your career. How have they shaped who you are and how you coach?
I definitely think that just like in any career, I believe that who you are and what you go through in life is going to shape how you look at things. I believe that everyone does that, and how you take that in what direction you take it, you can go negative or you can go positive. I try to always take everything positive, and I think that's worked out for me. Like I say, there is no, I don't, if anything happens to me or my family or things go, I know that I'm not the only one that things happen to. Everything happens to people every single day. It's never what happens to you, it's what you do next, which I always tell my players. It's never one error, it's what happens next. Because errors happen. Errors are part of the game. It's not a strikeout, it's what you do next. So it's not that medical report you get back, it's what you do next. So I always have that philosophy of what do you do next? What are you doing next? And that's it.
Well, you always got to pick yourself up when you fall down. This season is about halfway through at this point. How are you feeling going into the latter half?
Well, we just started our first district game. That was district opener last night. So we have a long way to go, but I felt really good about how all the parts came together. We have a lot of talented kids. They have fun together. They work hard. They put the work in. And everybody knows you can be good, but you also need luck. So we'll see how the luck follows us along, because that goes just as well as the hard work. So we'll see.
Sounds like you're keeping your hopes up. Well, that's all we have for today, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Water polo season is just around the corner, and changes are coming to the season. Bertina Rodriguez has the story in Flower Mound.
It is time for water polo season. Here at the Westside Aquatic Center, some Flower Mound players have new goals lined up for this season.
On the girls' side, we won state last year, so this season is kind of about proving that we still can do that, even though some of our seniors graduated.
Definitely doing good in state. I know last season was pretty rough. The 2021 season, we only got 5th, but I hope that this year we can get together and hopefully get top 4 this year in state.
The program has always had a lot of success, and we want to maintain that success. Our girls won state last year, our boys were 5th. So on the boys' side, to try and improve that ranking in state, and then on the girls' side, to try and repeat as state champions.
With the season being moved to fall after this spring season, some of the players are concerned with how prepared they might be for it.
I definitely think it's going to impact all the athletes, like lack of preparation maybe. Like some athletes aren't probably doing stuff over the summer with water polo or swimming, and they get here August 1st and not be in shape as they would have been if it was a spring semester sport.
Previously, we had swim in the fall, and it kind of gave us a segue to water polo, kind of, and got a lot of people used to it, but I think there's going to be kind of a lack of preparation beforehand.
Playing again in the fall might be a challenge for returning players. Reporting for LSMN Overtime, I'm Bertine Rodriguez.
News, Marcus Varsity Golf finished in a tie for first place at the 6A Regional Preview. Trevor Elgaya shot a 69 in the final round, giving him a second place individual finish. Jay Sunne, Jack Cash, and Sam Pampling also had top 20 finishes. That's it for this episode of LSMN Overtime. I'm Tori Stevens. We'll see you next time with more sports around the district.